Hey everybody, today we're at our research farm in Albion, Maine, looking at cabbages. We'll be looking at 3 varieties today. We'll be looking at Tiara, which is a small round one here. We'll be looking at Caraflex, which is a small pointed one. And then we'll be looking at Tendersweet, which is a flat one. And the reason I chose these 3 varieties is I believe these are the best varieties we have for fresh eating, meaning using them for, not cooking them, but for salads and coleslaws and that sort of thing. So the first one here, Tiara, this is a little round salad type cabbage. And you can see there are 2 different head sizes here. There's some small ones and then there are some bigger ones. The small ones were grown at spacing 8 inches between plants and 15 inches between rows and then 3 rows per bed. So you end up getting a small cabbage, maybe 6 inches in diameter. The larger heads were grown 2 rows on a bed, 12 inches apart. So you get the bigger head. So you can control your cabbage size, either in your home garden or if you're selling to a roadside market or maybe selling to restaurants by spacing. If you grow the cabbages at small spacing, make sure they have plenty of fertility and water so that they have enough nutrients to make a nice head. So Tiara, this is my favorite cabbage for making salads. And the reason I like it so much for salads is it's mild and the leaves have a really nice crunch to them. They're really juicy. I like to make salads in the summer out of Tiara when there's no lettuce around. And I'll cut ahead so you can see the interior. So you can see the cut head here. It's well packed, the nice yellow interior. And it's just overall a really nice cabbage to eat. And I usually, for making a salad, I'll cut it like that. Cut the core out. And then you can just cut it like this. And then you have a nice product for making a salad. You can put whatever your favorite dressing is onto it. So again, that's Tiara, and I think that's a really nice, nice cabbage for a salad. And then the next one here, this is a Keraflex, and it's the same thing with the spacing. These 2 small heads were grown 8 inches apart, and the larger ones were grown 12 inches apart. Keraflex is my favorite variety for making coleslaw, and the reason I like it for coleslaw is the leaves are very crisp and sort of thick, so it's really nice for that. And then I'll cut ahead of those so you can see that. And again, cut the core out here. And you can see right here that the leaves are a little bit thicker than we saw with the Tiara, so that gives you some nice crunch in the coleslaw. And again, I like to just cut it in strips, just like we did with the Tiara. And then here you go, some nice cabbage for making crisp coleslaw. And then the last one we're going to talk about right now is Tendersweet. And just like the other 2, these heads in the front were grown close together and the ones in the back further apart. These particular heads right here are a little larger than they normally get from 8-inch spacing. A lot of times they would maybe be 2/3 or half the size even. And this variety, if you like a silky coleslaw instead of crispy, I think Tendersweet's a good choice. If you like coleslaw that's with a crispy leaf, then I think the Caraflex is a little better. And there's another really nice use for Tendersweet, and that's for stir frying. And the reason I like it for stir frying is the leaves are really thin, which means when you stir fry it, it'll cook very quickly. Sometimes a thick leaf cabbage will be very slow to cook in a stir fry, and it'll take longer than some of the other vegetables. And we'll cut ahead of this now so you can see the interior. And you can see the interior here. The leaves are, these are really thin leaves. It may be a little hard to see on camera, but they're definitely thinner than the Caraflex and a little more thin than the Tiara as well. Again, take the core out. there you have a nice pile of leaves for your favorite stir fry. Or if you like a silky coleslaw, you can make coleslaw out of that too. So again, these are my 3 favorite fresh market varieties: the Tendersweet, the Caraflex, and then the Tiara. And thank you for joining us today.